it feels like we've been doing this for just a little bit of time. It doesn't feel like we've been doing it for a year.
Well, it's like I don't know. It's like two hands, or was it one hand? It feels. I'm
gonna blur that out because I know that people are not gonna like that.
I'm stupid.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 5-Star Jobbers Podcast. I'm Cody.
And I am holding my microphone because this fart knocker couldn't do the one thing he's supposed to do and bring the microphone stand. And I'm also using loser headphones and not my nice Sony ones because he left them.
Look, we had a busy weekend. A lot of things were going on. Things happen. People forget. I forget all the time. Do you not ever forget anything?
Never once.
I find that hard to believe.
Don't ask anybody to verify that, though.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of different things to say about that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everybody that's been watching our YouTube channel and listening to our podcast here. If you're new to the podcast and you want to listen to more content, go check out our YouTube channel and go check out on all streaming platforms. We are everywhere.
I just remembered I forgot something once.
What you got?
I forgot about Dre.
You forgot about what?
I forgot about Dre. Millennial reference. He doesn't get it.
Okay, I was about to say. Anyway.
Bow, 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 bow.
Whatever. Anyway, guys.
He forgot about Dre, too, apparently.
Anyway, if you want to check us out on our social media, go check us out. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can find us all on there. Also, we want to let you guys know of some upcoming events going on this coming weekend. We used to do it where we'd have a whole bunch of lists of different events going on, but it got too big. And so what I'm going to start doing from now on, shut up. That one friend you always have to go, shut up.
If I had a dime for every time that happened.
Anyway, we're going to let you guys know some upcoming events that are going to be going on this coming weekend. So, a couple of things going on. April 27th, Allied Pro Wrestling Destiny is going to be the Lee County Youth Sports Complex in Beattyville, Kentucky. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Show starts at 6. Don't want to miss out on that. Also happening April 27th, Wrestling Against Cancer. Going to be a great event at the Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City, Florida. Doors open at 5:30. Bell time is at 6:30. A lot of great events going on, and some more will be coming up soon. But we have a very special episode for you today. A couple things going on, but one of the things we want to get to right away, we have a special guest joining via audio right now. He was there at the Kraken Pro Wrestling event this past month.
He melted our faces with the amazingness of his wrestling.
We are so glad that he's decided to join us here for this episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please help us welcome the original Gothic Gangster himself, Trever Aeon. Trever, thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us.
What's up?
Oh, man, a few words. I like it. But, Trever, kind of introduce yourself to everybody and tell everybody who you are if they have not seen or heard of you yet. Just give us a little brief summary of who you are and how you came into professional wrestling.
So, long story short, I went to an indie show a bajillion years ago because a guy that I went to high school with had started wrestling. I met a dude named Steve Styles, told me if I wanted to get involved to go and get a dude named Mike Taylor. I did that, and the rest is basically history.
Oh, wow.
And this literal devil that talks to you right now.
So kind of tell us a little bit how... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
That was it.
Okay,
that's the old story.
So kind of tell us a little bit how the origin of your character came into play. Like, where did that develop from?
So, long story short, very long story short, is when I came into wrestling, I was very generic. I was very plain. But everybody was like, you have so much charisma. And I was like, what? I don't feel like it. And then I started to kind of get ideas where I was really kind of drawing up characters that belonged in movies. But I was like, how can I make this dude into a wrestler? So I was in this tag team called Full Throttle with a dude named Joey Lightning. Joey Lightning turned on me, and that exposed me originally to the corruption of the business, which drove me crazy. And I became the violence artist, who's essentially a serial killer, but a pro wrestler. thought that hurting people was art. And after doing that for a little bit, that character, I won my first singles championship at Anarchy Wrestling, the Young Lions title, which was pretty amazing because I grew up watching Anarchy Wrestling, so it was kind of cool to hold the championship there. Because I used to watch R-Truth and AJ Styles and a bunch of other guys on there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that character lost that championship. He went even crazier, killed himself, went to hell, took over hell, and here I am. That's the whole story.
Well, right on. So you made the devil do the job, and you came back. That's awesome.
Now, here's a really cool thing about that, and the people who are really, really into the intricacies of my personality will enjoy this. On my YouTube channel, there are promo videos numbered and labeled to follow this entire story. From when I lost my damn mind, to when I won that title, when I lost that title, when I disappeared and came back as I am now. And I stole the numbering system from, if you're familiar with Nine Inch Nails.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
He has a numbering system called the Halo numbering system for how you're supposed to listen to the songs and the albums. I stole that and made it into wrestling.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you get on my YouTube, you can literally track this entire story.
Oh, we'll definitely have to put that in the description.
Songs. Yeah, it's really wild too. And they also kind of come with soundtracks because each promo video has a different song in it. So you can literally pull those songs out and listen to the songs and see where my head was at and what the inspiration was for it and everything. I really went all out, and I've still been doing it. And the next story just hasn't started yet. So I'm probably going to do that until I run out of ideas.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I'm a big fan of prog and storytelling, and Coheed and Cambria, and Iron Maiden, Zeppelin, all the bands that have prog influences and tell stories, and their music and their lyrics go along with stories that are separate from the just the music itself. So for you to do that and bring that into the ring, that's very cool. I love the artistic creativity of that. So tell the people your YouTube so they can go look at that.
My YouTube channel is youtube.com/Trever Aeon official.
That's TREVORAEON official.
Yep. Make sure you spell Trever TREVER.
Trevor, yeah, E-R. Yeah, TREVERAEON.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description down below on the YouTube channel there, so that way everybody can go check it out for themselves. But
you can do that?
Yeah.
But you can't bring the mic stands?
I might have to look into new co-host before too long.
I mean, after this Saturday, you almost have to get a new co-host in the first place.
Yeah. We'll get more to that later. Probably not, but we'll see. But going forward from that, so Trever, you are a world-traveled individual. You've had time in Japan. You've had time on AEW Dark. Kind of tell us about that experience for you whenever you wrestled in Japan. When did that start initially?
So here's a crazy thing about this is one of my favorite parts of my wrestling journey. And I get to say this recorded so people know about it. So the year before I went to Japan, I was actually about to quit wrestling.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I literally November of that year, I was doing the Pro Wrestling Ego Great Southern Ace tournament, and I was done. I was engaged. I was about to get married, and I was going to do all the other ridiculous, stupid things that I do. I have music projects. I have a t-shirt line I'm working on. I got a bunch of other crap that I do that I've been working on for the longest. And I was like, you know what? Wrestling's not panning out. I'm gonna step away from this and throw myself into all my other art projects. Well, I went and did a seminar. It was right when Cody Rhodes got out of WWE. He came to WWE for he did a seminar there. And I went to that seminar just on a whim because I was on my way to train at Robert Gibson's place anyway. So I was like, screw it, I'll do that seminar. I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan. I want to see what he'll show me. And I had a really good time at the seminar. And when he was leaving, when we were getting ready to leave, he said, "See you down the road." I don't know why, but for some reason, him saying that made me not quit wrestling.
Oh wow!
Wow!
I mean, that's awesome.
So a few months later, Great Muda's promotion, Wrestle One, doing the tryout at the Power Factory, which is now the Nightmare Factory. But the Great Muda's company, that it's gone now, but at the time he had a company called Wrestle One. So they did a tryout, and I showed up on a whim because I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, and the worst they can do is be like, you suck, and we'll never use you. Well, the exact opposite happened. I did really well, and I got chosen to go to Japan, and from there I've been nonstop ever since.
Man,
that was the only time where I was close to being like, okay, I'm done with wrestling.
It seems that fate had other plans for you.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible.
And I tell people all the time, like I have a super soft spot for Cody Rhodes because he gave me a lot of advice that day too, but he said that, and I know that's probably just something he says when he's leaving or whatever, but for some reason him saying that made me say, you know what? Yeah, I guess I will see you down the road. So right after that seminar, I drove over to Robert Gibson's training school at the time, and I ended up training for another 3 or 4 hours.
Wow, that's awesome,
fantastic.
Man.
Yeah, a couple months later, the Japan trial happened, and I just couldn't stop.
Wow.
I was extra motivated. I felt super great, and so my trainer Micah Taylor spent a lot of time with 0-1. So I was originally trained like that anyway. So when I got to Japan, it was all stuff that I already I was prepared because I'm just like, well, we already do these things.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what was one of your bigger culture shocks? I mean, obviously there's a different wrestling style, but I guess just different interactions. What really struck you when you went to Japan? What was the most either the most out of the box or the thing that grew you the most as a performer?
How how do I make this not sound bad? Everything was super clean. Crazy clean.
Okay.
I'm talking looking around for trash cans on the street, and I was just like, man, it is nuts out there. I didn't see a lot of trash on the ground, nothing, and I was just like, that's amazing.
It's definitely not what we're used to down here in the South.
Exactly, definitely not.
Yep, I got a piece of trash sitting right next to me right now.
Damn, and even
sorry, I don't know how to turn it off.
Getting from when I got off the plane in Japan, well, technically I went to South Korea first, then I went to Japan. But when I got off the plane there, just even how friendly and nice stewardess was a complete change from when I got back here, and I was like, oh, I can tell I'm in America.
Huge shift there.
There was a major personality shift there, and I was just like, man, that's very, very noticeable.
Right.
So also the way, just the respect level of pro wrestling in Japan is you have to be there and see it to really experience it.
Yeah, that's something I've heard a lot about, and that's really cool. I've always wanted to ask this question to someone who's been in Japan, so I've got to ask you. We hear so often of old grizzled vets. They talk about a real professional wrestler knows how to call it in the ring and da 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 and feel off the crowd. When you go to Japan, Japan's a completely silent crowd. So what's the mentality there? Are the matches just more planned? Or can you still feel it out in the ring somehow? Is there a different way to be able to feel how to call it in the ring in Japan?
So there wasn't really a giant difference between the way we call matches here and the way we call matches there. Pro wrestling is a universal language.
Okay.
People call the international for a reason. You could call that with anybody, with any wrestler who has been through a week or two of training. You've probably learned how to do an international.
Right.
You could say that to somebody from another. Because I just wrestled a dude from Florida who didn't really speak any English here in Atlanta, but he knew what an international was. We could barely talk to each other. He spoke very little English.
Wow.
So everything was body language and whatever key words I could give him so he could remember, or so he knew what I was trying to say. it's hard. Like, it's not, it's not like a walk in the park or anything, but it's doable, and you can get a lot out of it. Learning body language, paying attention to each other, and then listening to your crowd to see where you want to go next. It's complex as hell, because wrestling is complex as hell, but it's also a lot of fun, and it keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely.
Kept me on my toes too.
Definitely. So, spending time in Japan, and then also, for those that don't know, you also had a match on AEW Dark, I believe, because I went back and watched this. It was a tag team match. I cannot remember what your partner's name was for the life of me. It was Kendall something, but
Kendall Blake.
Kendall Blake.
Actually, SP the Ghost.
What was that again?
He is actually SP the Ghost out here on the Indies, but he did not his normal character that day.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you see him in gimmick out here, we actually fit together pretty well, because he's like a spooky.
Okay,
we'll keep an eye out for him for sure. So the AEW Dark match that you had with him, I believe your opponents were Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs during that. Yeah. And this was during Jacksonville days, I believe, whenever they were doing the shows there.
So they would have been part of Taz's group at the time?
Yes. This was during Taz's faction, where he had Hook, and I don't know if Ricky Starks was there as well, but I think
Ricky Starks, I don't know, he wasn't in the match, but that the faction was Ricky, Hook, and then Brian and Hobbs.
Right. So how did that come to fruition? Like, when did you get the call for that, or how did that come about?
I don't remember when I got the email about it, but I literally, that was one of those things that I sent that email on a whim. I was like, yeah, the worst I could do is ignore this email.
It's 100% true.
It did not get ignored. And I actually ended up going down there quite a few times, which I was very happy about, because it's always fun to stuff.
That's incredible, man.
That's so. I mean, that's so cool. I mean, not say so. You not only were you're on AEW Dark, and that you can go back and watch. For anybody that's listening to this episode, you can go on to YouTube and go back and look at AEW Dark matches. So if you look up this match, you can go watch it. Trevor's an absolutely fantastic worker, and of course, I've never seen SP Ghost, as you're saying, but I mean, anybody knows that's watching the business knows Hobbs and Cage as well. And Cage doesn't get nearly enough credit for everything that he does in this business. How long he's been around. It's one of those guys that why he's not the top talent in some company, I have no idea for the life of me. And then, Will Hobbs is probably one of the best big men in the business today. So that, seeing your style and Kraken, and then, knowing who you were going up against, that had to have been a heck of a match, and I'm sure you probably had a few bumps to show for it.
Yeah, it was real short, and they didn't necessarily want it to be short, but those were the orders we were given.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I would love to wrestle Cage 1-on-1, because I feel like we would have a crazy ass match.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'd pay to see that match any day.
That happens. Let me know. I'll be there. Yeah, because
we'll book a flight. We'll get the tickets. We'll do whatever. That would be a fantastic match.
Oh yeah, I'm for it.
So
I would love to take some 1-on-1.
That'd be fantastic. Speaking of Kraken, we were there doing commentary for the show, and I just want to say, and nothing against anybody else or anything for that matter, this was probably one of the best matches I've seen in a while.
This was match of the night, but we go around and say, not to speak negatively of anybody, we get to work with a lot of amazing talent, on a weekly basis, but we've seen a lot of these shows, and that match was, to us, if not the best match that we've seen.
It was as close to, I guess you could say, strong style, or not necessarily strong style, but
no, but I would say a fully produced, dynamic, very fluid, y'all, it was, for people who are very into it, who've watched thousands and thousands of matches like we have, and who see a bunch of different stuff, and you go to indies a lot, and you can see a lot of the same things. You can see, just like you said, the international, there's a lot of the same stuff used. There's a lot of comfort sequences that are used, and then you see the guys who are they're able to be creative, but without being clunky.
Exactly.
And to be able to have a dynamic match and really feel in and feed the crowd, and see where they need to go. And you guys, you guys did just such an amazing job. And I mean, that match, I don't think anybody that was there that night expected to get, and I'm just being honest, I don't think anybody that was there was expecting to get a match to that caliber.
Absolutely.
And what that does for Kraken, what that did for for us to be able to call it, what that does for the crowd to be able to see it, it's just one of those things. Like, it makes everybody's day better. It makes promotions better. It makes us calling matches better.
It made it so much more enjoyable for us, and it made it so much fun just to watch the back and forth between y'all. And so, speaking of Kraken, I kind of got sidetracked there for a little bit, but what are your expectations going forward as part of Kraken Pro Wrestling? Because we've seen a stacked card with some incredible talent in this promotion so far, and we're so thankful to be a part as the commentary team for this. And I'm excited to see going forward, because their next event is going to be a 2-day event where we crown the first ever champion. What are your expectations going forward as being a part of Kraken Pro Wrestling?
I'm trying to build it I want it to be a place that everybody wants to come wrestle. That's always my goal, especially getting to be a part of a show that's being built. I want to build it to a place that everybody wants to go. I want people to expect there to be great wrestling there anytime the name of that company pops up.
Well, yeah, I think you guys set that expectation.
Absolutely, because I don't know if y'all have seen yet, but definitely go check out Kraken Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel, because the full match between Trever Aeon and Trey Shaw is available on their YouTube channel. So if you want to see this match from bell to bell, go check out their YouTube channel. I'll put a description down, or put the link in the description down below, so that way y'all can watch it. But yeah, I agree with you there, because I truly think that Kraken Pro Wrestling is going to become something that a lot of people are going to want to come to, and a lot of people are going to want to experience for sure. I mean, just the name alone.
And then that title. The title, I mean, they Sam and everybody released that title. What was that, a week or so ago?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful looking title.
Oh yeah.
I love it. And then go back to say we released the Kraken, and in line with us as well, we released the match. Forgive 2/3 of the commentary, but we still have a dent in our table here. The 5-star table still has a dent from that match. So
hey, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I mean, if anybody wants to buy it as a memorabilia, $200. But hey, man, it's got his head mark in it.
I mean, you could sell it for more.
I start the bid at $200.
Okay, no, I got you.
He's new.
But anyway,
so we're so excited to see you again. We're so excited to see how Kraken grows. But we always ask this of our guests. Kind of tell us a little bit about how you got bit with the wrestling bug. Like, when, if you can remember, what was the match or the event or whatever that the first time you ever saw wrestling and was like, yeah, I'm watching this. And then if you can give us your Mount Rushmore, we would love it.
Oh, I absolutely remember. I don't think I'll ever forget. Like, I don't know the exact age I was. I want to say I was like, but I walked into grandma's room watching these dudes fight, and I didn't know like why or what the hell was going on. But I saw these dudes in these crazy like comic book character looking outfits, and they were fighting.
All right, comic book character outfits. So was that WWF?
That was probably WCW, because I grew up in Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Now, is this WCW?
Watching, like,
what WCW is this? Is this?
I want to say she was probably watching like Worldwide or Saturday Night or something like that.
Okay, so
it had to be one of the.
So we're talking WCW, pre NWO time.
Yeah, there was no NWO yet.
Yep.
Okay.
Early 90s.
Yep.
If not, and it might have been 89. So it had to be 89, 90 because I was 5.
Oh wow.
37.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump out on a limb here and say you're a big Sting guy.
I was a big Sting guy back then.
So, kind of echoing off that, who would you put for your Mount Rushmore?
That's actually kind of easy. So, of course, Macho Man, Some people are gonna be mad when they hear this because I'm gonna leave somebody off that they probably think should be on here, but too bad.
Hey, this is your Mount Rushmore.
Right. So Macho Man, Ric Flair.
Yeah.
That might upset some people because I know he always gets himself in hot water. But I'm thinking retroactively, people. I'm 37. Cut me some slack. But Macho Man, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes. And the fourth one is always a hard one because there's so many people I can put here.
Exactly.
It probably changes a lot. But so we can say Sting, we can say Junkyard Dog, we can say I feel like his run wasn't long enough for me to put him here, but I still put JYD here because it's kind of hard not to, because I know what would have happened had he not passed away.
Yeah,
that's true.
I
think yours is the first JYD that we've had in a while, but I think everybody would. I don't think anybody would hear JYD and not think, okay, that's definitely someone who's had a really big effect in the business in a really positive manner. So, are you going with JYD, or is he just an honorable mention?
I don't know if it's fair to call him an honorable mention because I feel like he belongs right there. But you could also say Sting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you can make a case for either one, but yeah, either one is a good option.
Well, we've let some people, I guess,
still in the same role.
Some people who are North Dakota stupid have picked Mount Rushmore's with 5 on it. So we'll let him have 5.
Yeah, we'll let you have 5 on this one.
So Sting and JYD. But yeah, so he's got Flair and he's got Dusty, so I have Flair and Dusty.
Yeah. I think I had did I have Flair on mine?
I think you had Flair.
Yeah, I had Flair.
I don't think you had Dusty. Did you? Because my Mount Rushmore is Flair, Dusty, and then Trips and Shawn. Because my Mount Rushmore.
I was trying to avoid the Attitude Era, but if we include that, then yeah, Triple H and Shawn Michaels have to be there. But then if we do that, also Stone Cold and The Rock have to be there.
Gotcha. Yeah, but like I said, it's different for everybody, and everybody has their own Mount Rushmore depending on where you go with it. So, but Trevor, we can't thank you enough for joining us here on the podcast. We look forward to seeing you again in Kraken Pro Wrestling, and look forward to seeing you in other contests as well.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm extra excited for everything that's happening with Kraken. I am just I'm ready to build that into a huge thing.
Absolutely.
That's exactly the route we're going.
Definitely. Well, Trevor, thank you again for joining us on the podcast. We'll see you next time, all right?
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've had Trever Aeon on the podcast, we got another thing to get to. So the WWE Draft is going to be coming up. Is it this weekend?
It's this week.
Yeah, it's this Friday.
I think it starts Friday.
Yeah, it starts Friday, ends Monday, and so there's a lot that's going to be going into this, and it's going to be interesting to see because a lot of things have happened with the different designs of the tag team titles.
We'll
get into that here in a little bit.
But I'll just go ahead and say I like the SmackDown one better.
Yeah, I like the SmackDown one better too.
Yeah.
So with that, we decided that we would do what we did a long time ago. I think it was during one of our first few episodes. We did a mock draft. I think it was after WrestleMania, sometime around there.
Yeah. I think there was going to be a draft of some kind, so we did a draft in line with it, and then just like we're doing now, we're doing another draft as it's coming up.
Right.
And man, it's crazy. Like, time flies.
It has flown. I mean, it feels like we've been doing this for just a little bit of time. It doesn't feel like we've been doing it for a year.
Well, it's like I don't know. It's like 2 hands, or was it one hand? It feels. I'm
gonna blur that out because I know that people are not gonna like that.
I'm stupid. I'm old and my brain's fried. What I'm trying to say is one part of me feels like we started yesterday, and then another part of me feels like we've been doing this forever.
Right.
It's probably the part of me that has to deal with you.
Probably. Anyway,
it's crazy that we're already here. We're at another draft. We've been doing this for a little just over a year. We've gotten to work with some amazing professional wrestlers, some amazing promoters, and just can't thank everybody enough for all the support, both the fans, promoters, professional wrestlers, anybody who's talked to us at a show. You made a post earlier today about that kid who, it was really funny. And I noticed this at every show. I don't know if you've noticed this before, but at every show, we always end up with the location of where our table gets put is, we're either side by side with ringside fans or we're like right behind them.
Right.
And so we've got the headphones on, we've got the microphones on, we go full bore. But we climax loudly. So I noticed that a lot of times at the beginning of a night of a card, the fans will kind of be, at least one or two fans will look over at us like, what is wrong with you two boys?
Exactly. Like, they look at us like, what are they screaming about? What are they doing over there?
Yeah, they definitely think we don't know where we're supposed to be.
Right.
And what's funny is watching them turn.
Yeah.
As the night goes on. Like
either laughing at something that you said or they're looking at me like, that was pretty cool.
Well, because you go like a mile. I'm like, suplex.
You're like, ooh. I'm like, what in the world is this? Can't you believe what's going on? But I mean, I can't help it. I get animated. I get super into it, and I'm having a blast.
No, I love it. But yeah, it's funny. It's like I think a lot of people will be, they're wrestling fans, but they'll be listening to you, and they're like, oh, I didn't know what that move was called, and then they know what they hear it from you, and that's great. And then for me, they're like, this guy is a jerk. But every once in a while, he makes funny.
Oh yeah. So. Going off of that, because he was talking about the post that I made a post talking about, I think it was during like the third or fourth match or sometime around there, closer towards the intermission. There was a kid who had literally moved his chair closer to where we were at our broadcast booth and just kept listening in to how we were calling the matches and how animated we are. And he got just as animated as we were. And it's one of those little moments where I never thought that we would have that much of, I don't know if you'd call it an impact, but
or like an effect on someone's ability to enjoy the show.
Exactly. And so seeing someone enjoy what we do and also enjoy what the guys are doing in the ring, it fills me with so much joy to see us being a part in some small way in the professional wrestling industry. And so once again, we can't thank everybody enough for their support for what we've done so far with this podcast and with our commentary. I also want to thank DCCW Saturday for allowing us to be there in their house to be able to do commentary.
And to give us an amazing card to call.
Oh my gosh, there was some amazing matches in this whole thing.
We cannot wait. You guys are going to be able to watch it soon. We're working on it. They're working on it. DCCW Glorify on YouTube.
Yes.
As well as, of course, 5-Star Jobbers. You'll be able to watch the matches. And I mean, they're doing amazing stuff over at DCCW in McClaney, Florida. If you're in the South Georgia, North Florida area, even if you're in Central Florida area, McClaney's not that far away. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely amazing matches.
Absolutely.
And us good-looking guys. I mean, you can come see us.
That might be a turn away from them. But anyway, what we wanted to do, we kind of got sidetracked a little bit there, but we wanted to just say some thank yous to everybody that supported us. But we want to get started with a mock draft in preparation for the actual draft this coming weekend. So what we've done, we've set some ground rules for it. 12 rounds each. There are 2 individuals that are off the table.
They're off the table, but they're stuck in they're stuck on the show.
Right.
So I'll be taking the Raw.
Right.
You'll be taking the SmackDown. So Rhea's injured. She ain't going nowhere. Rhea stays with Raw.
Right.
Roman is doing Roman things.
Right.
He ain't going nowhere. He stays with SmackDown.
Right.
So you've already got Roman.
So I've already got Roman. You got Rhea. So we've got that established.
Yep. Tag teams can be picked together, but factions cannot.
Right.
So you can't take the whole Judgment Day. But, if you want to, and I guess, what does that mean for the Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits and then the Authors of Pain and Karrion Kross? Do we consider them a tag team with a person, or so basically you can take the Street Profits, but you can't take the Street Profits and Bobby.
Right.
You can take the Authors of Pain, but you can't take the Authors of Pain and Karrion Kross.
Right. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So round 1, you get started off with your pick because
age before beauty, and also as my idea.
Yeah, exactly. So I let him have it, but either way, mine's going to be the best. So anyway, what's your round 1 pick?
Well, my round 1 pick's got to be the man who finishes the story.
Of course, I knew you were going to pick him.
The undisputed champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, comes to Raw, baby.
All right, okay. Well, my number 1 pick is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Architect, Seth freaking Rollins.
But he's not the champion anymore.
Well, former world champion, but him and Roman had classic matches. They'll have great matches to come. Having him on SmackDown will be just that much better.
That is true. Seth Rollins is a fantastic choice. That's a great pick.
All right.
So, unfortunately, Seth will not be able to have a rivalry with my next pick, and that is the Second City Savior and the man who still gives AEW a bump in ratings, CM Punk.
Okay, all right. Good pick. He'll do good on Raw. Him and Cody will have good matches for sure.
Oh, yeah. Him and Cody will have good matches, and I've got a couple others that I'm looking forward to making sure. Don't be looking at my list.
I'm not looking at your list. I don't want to look at that. It's garbage anyway. But so my second round pick, I'm going to pull from the women's division on this one, and I'm going to pick.
Going quick.
Oh yeah, I'm going to pick the second most dominant woman in the women's division in WWE. I'm going with Jade Cargill.
You butthole.
Oh yeah, I told you,
dude.
You may get the number 1 pick, but I'm getting the best lineup.
I thought that I had her on my list, but I didn't have her as high as you did. I thought I might be able to get one past you, but okay.
Nope.
So all right, I've already got to make a couple changes here.
Yeah, I told you. You may have the number 1 pick, but I got the best lineup.
All right. No, we will make adjustments, and what is it? For those of you who are How I Met Your Mother enthusiasts, make adjustments. Go get it energized. Okay, Maggie.
I'm still on season 2 of that show. I gotta finish.
Dude, you've got so many amazing moments. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's so good.
Yeah.
Pineapple incidents and more.
Okay. Round 3. What you got?
Round 3. All right. So, with everybody saying L.A. Knight.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, I'll give you that one. My third round pick, I am going to pull my first tag team.
Ooh.
And I am going to pick who R-Truth still confuses to this day as Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but you all know them as DIY.
I thought that it was understood that that's my tag team and you're not allowed to touch them.
I know. Turnabout's fair play, isn't it?
You did that just to hurt me.
Oh, yeah, I told you. I'm coming with a vengeance. Hey, this is war. It's Raw versus SmackDown.
You sneaky butthole.
Speaking of SmackDown versus Raw, a great video game, by the way.
SmackDown versus Raw, fantastic in the series. But I got to say, WWE 2K24, very, very solid.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't really done, did we ever do a review of Fight Forever?
No, we did not. We need to. I mean, well, I
not
feel
so
like
much
it's been
right
a while.
now. It's been a while, but I will just say, Fight Forever came out. It was okay. It was not all that I wanted it to be.
If you're a big fan of N64 or that kind of style of gaming, then yeah, it's definitely your style. But
2K24, solid. I mean, absolutely fantastic game.
Definitely.
And the storyline, it's very much the story. It's
exactly.
Undisputed champion, who could become the longest reigning.
Right.
Fantastic story, multiple different ways that it could go based on choices. I just finished it. Absolutely awesome.
I'm still in the first couple of phases of it, so I haven't finished it yet. But that's another thing we should do. We should do a segment of WWE 2K.
Oh, yeah. No, 2K. And I almost thought about doing so maybe for the next draft that we do, if we can get the graphics, if we can figure out how to do it on the board.
Yeah.
And do like take the WWE Universe thing and then pick and do a draft. Because you do a draft in that version.
Well, really, we should just do a segment where we do GM mode.
That's what I'm saying. In GM mode where you draft. It's like the two of us could literally do this draft on the TV.
Yeah.
And then that way there'd be a little bit,
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like us playing through GM mode.
Yeah, but say they could also. I would so win.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
I'd kick the poop out of you.
I would beat you.
Oh, there's no.
Oh, yeah. All right, round 4. Who you got?
Round 4. All right, so I've got Cody. I've got CM Punk. I've got LA Knight. Yeah. Now I need a mid-card champion.
All righty.
And I am going to take someone I knew for sure I wasn't going to have to battle you for. But an amazing talent, a fantastic entertainer, and the United States champion, Logan Paul.
Honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I figured
you
you
can
would
take it. You can take him. I'm okay with that.
I'll take the ratings.
That's all right.
And I'll take the sponsorships from Prime.
That's all right. My 4th round pick is going to be a true entertainer, someone who can play both the face and the heel, and he is the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Right on. The Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Round 5, who you got?
Round 5. Gunter.
Okay. All right. The Ring General.
The Ring General.
Or as Ludwig Kaiser would say,
Ring General. Nobody does it better than Ludwig Kaiser.
I know, right?
Honestly, if Ludwig Kaiser doesn't do anything except for introduce Gunter, I'm for it.
Yeah, exactly.
But he is a good talent, so I do like watching him work as well. But that's my favorite part.
Right, true. My 5th round pick, I am going with the new Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn.
Right on. Sami Zayn is a solid choice. Is he a solid number 2?
I think he's a solid number 1. I think he could be a main event guy. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me. I know a lot of people will
Sami, dude. And when I say I love Sami, I mean I love Sami. I love El Generico. Like, I have watched Sami Zayn, El Generico. Like, before he was Sami Zayn, I was a fan of this performer. But there is just something about Sami. I don't know why, but I can't ever see him as the main guy. Like, even with everything going on last year with, his fight against the Bloodline, him going against Roman, like, he's a compelling entertainer. He's a fantastic professional wrestler. He's a good storyteller, but I don't know. There's just something about Sami that, like,
I feel like the whole story is that
I'm gonna borrow from the authority and say he's a B+ player.
Nah, I always say he's an A+ in my opinion. That's why I've got him on my list.
Well, he goes to the right place, and hopefully you'll push him to the moon.
Oh yeah. Number 6. Who you got?
Number 6. All right. So I don't get Jade Cargill.
No, you do not.
But I already have Rhea Ripley. So who better to go against Mommy than the Queen, Charlotte Flair?
Okay. Good pick. Solid pick. My 6th round pick is going to be an up-and-coming star who has made quite the impact so far on SmackDown and is going to become a future world champion, Braun Breaker.
That's a fantastic pick. And once again, you do steal one from me. I thought I might be able to get him a little later in the rounds. But no, Braun Breaker is an absolutely fantastic pick. And one that I will say I see 100% top of the marquee, heavyweight champion in the future. Could be as soon as 2025, maybe 2026. But Braun Breaker,
I'll go 2025 because I think they'll push for him to have a title soon.
I think he'll have a title.
Not saying it's going to be the world title, but definitely going to have a title soon.
I think he'll have I think it's possible he has a title before the end of 2024.
That would be fantastic.
Between the Intercontinental, however this draft pulls, between the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title, I think Braun Breaker is going to be a champion. It's very likely that he could be a champion. Heck, he could even be a tag champion before the end of this year. 2025, maybe a little bit early, but like I said, when we're talking world title, to me, this guy, it's not if, but when.
Exactly. Definitely. I mean, just watching him in the ring, he is on a whole nother level.
Well, he's got something, and I'll tell you what, as somebody who watched the Steiners, from a kid, and, I started watching wrestling as the Steiners were more separated, like they were together a little bit, but like by the time I started watching wrestling, the Steiners were more pulling away. And then, Scott was becoming less of the varsity character and more of a ripoff of Eddie Graham.
Right.
Not to say it wasn't good. I love Big Papa Pump.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, like I said, the bleached hair and the mustache, the goatee, everything like that, like, you're like, okay, how much are you going to pull from superstar Eddie, Billy Graham before you get called into court?
Exactly.
But no, Big Papa Pump was fantastic, and the dog-faced gremlin Rick Steiner, they're both awesome. And WCW closed right as Scott was really getting shot to the moon, and he really didn't get a fair shake in WWE.
Right.
But anybody who's watched a Scott Steiner promo knows he might be charismatic, but the promo's not all there.
Yeah.
I put it online. Like, Scott Steiner and the Ultimate Warrior were two great guys who were so compelling, they could make you listen to them while they talked about absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
Braun Breaker is not only charismatic, but he can tell a good story.
Definitely.
Better than both his dad and his uncle. So that's a fantastic pick, and it's a loss to Raw to not have him.
Absolutely. Who you got for number 7?
Number 7. I've got to have a tag team. You took my tag team.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take what I think is the more promising tag team championship couple, and let's say at some point they'll be separated and they can be repackaged later.
Okay.
But Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Ooh, okay. Solid tag team. Good choice there. I have to do some adjusting on my end as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of mine, but no worries. I've come prepared. We will readjust and make changes. So, my number 7 pick, I am going to be taking the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest.
Fantastic pick. Fantastic pick. So now you've got your World Heavyweight title. You've got your number 1 contender in Seth Rollins. So good on you, man. Good on you. And Damian Priest, fantastic. Once again, I'm just going to say this. I love Damian Priest, and I really hope to see new things out of Damian. Like, I hope they give him the title long enough to see how, I don't think it's going to be a long first title run. I think it's going to be a trial title run.
Right.
But with Triple H, I think that's more his shtick, is that he's going to give someone enough time that he can at least evaluate it.
And just see how it goes, and then from there evolve the character or evolve the story or whichever that they're going to go with.
See where it needs to go.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a long first title reign, but I'm hoping that it will show Damian in a more complex light. It will give him a little bit more opportunity to show that he can be a top guy.
Definitely.
Because let's say I haven't really ever seen him as a top guy, and that's not to say that he can't be. It's just that, even in NXT, he was never the NXT champion.
No.
He held the North American title, and he did a good job holding that and being a genuine champion and believable champion. He had some fantastic matches with a lot of different wrestlers. Him and Dijak had some fantastic.
Gosh, that was such a good match.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So great choice.
Number 8.
Number 8. So number 8. I've got to have a team. I got to have a team for my team to fight.
Mm-hmm. Who you got?
I'm taking Solo and Tama Tonga.
Solid pick. That's a good one. Definitely a good team. For my number 8 pick, I got to have someone to contend against Jade Cargill.
Yep.
I got to have someone that's going to bring the fight to her. Someone that's going to bring a different style of offense. And who better to do that than the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Nice. The Empress of Tomorrow. Fan-freaking-tastic.
I told you, man.
I hate you so much, and because you know who I love. You know the people that I love, and you just want to hurt me.
I figured I might as well just get one over on you at least. It's not very often, but I'll take it.
You've robbed the people of Rhea versus Asuka.
Yeah, but they get to see Jade versus Asuka.
I hate you.
All right. Who you got for number 9?
Oh, okay. So, number 9. If I can't have Asuka, I'll take another huge superstar from Japan. Possibly the biggest superstar from Japan of all time in the WWE. The Prince. Finn Balor.
Good pick. Good pick. Not a bad one. Really good one. For my number 9, I am going to pull from NXT. And I am going to take the NXT champion, the Red Dragon himself, Ilya Dragunov.
Ooh, nice. Nice. If only you had him, if only you had Gunther.
Oh, don't worry, because can you imagine him and Seth Rollins in a match against each other?
Give Seth a little time to recover. Can we have a healthy Seth versus Ilya on that one? That would be fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh, yeah, trust me. Seth is going to be all rested up, and him and Ilya are going to tear the house down. All right.
No, I believe you on that one.
So what you got for, because we're getting close to the end here, number 10 pick. Who you got for number 10?
Number 10. The Genius of the Sky. Or the genius. What am I saying? Something?
No, that's it. Yeah, the Genius of the Sky.
I don't like her new name because it makes it repetitive.
Right.
But Io Sky.
I got you. Yeah, hey, good pick. Good pick. For number 10, I wanted to go with another tag team. I was kind of torn between two. At first, I already had a solid one, but then you took.
You had a solid number. You had a solid number 2.
Oh yeah, I have it all the time.
Yeah, oatmeal is helpful.
Yeah, definitely keeps it regular. But I had a solid pick, but then you took Theory and Waller from me. So now I'm torn between two. I kind of love one of these teams just because of the destruction that they bring.
Yeah.
But I also like the other one just because of the entertainment aspect they bring as well. So to add a little bit of entertainment to the tag team division, I am going to go with the Yes Boys, Pretty Deadly.
Yes, boys! Well, that's a good team. Have you not picked the Awesome Truth yet?
I have not.
So, you don't have tag team titles.
Hey, it's all good.
All right, I guess they'll go to NXT.
Yeah, they'll go to NXT. Anyways, getting close to the end here. Number 11, who you got?
Number 11, I am going to pick another tag team because my division right now only has 2, and I need a little bit more than just 2 so that we don't have AEW having the same match every Wednesday.
True.
So I've got Gunther. I must have Imperium.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you got your faction there.
I will take Ludwig Kaiser. And anyone else that happens to team with no, I'm just kidding. And Giovanni Vinci. I'll do my best Sam Irvin.
Oh my gosh.
Ludwig Kaiser. Giovanni Vinci.
And the Intercontinental Champion
Gunther. The Ring General Gunther.
And Samantha Irvin is the GOAT.
Absolutely.
By far.
She is the GOAT. And she's the GOAT at vocal orating. So she is the throat GOAT.
Take that however you will. Anyway.
Don't look that up.
Yeah. Number 11 for me. I got to have someone, because I don't want Logan Paul. But I still got to have a pretty good person that everybody loves to hate. So with that, I'm going with the number 1 heel in WWE, Dominic Mysterio.
Nice. Dominic Mysterio is a good choice.
I just really want to see Braun Breaker tear him in half with his spear.
That would be good. Well, you took someone from NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I took someone from NXT. You just didn't know about it, but I took the best one from NXT.
For your final draft pick?
Oba Femi.
Ooh, solid pick. Solid pick. Oba has been on a roll in NXT.
Like,
Man.
that guy is a beast.
Oh, yeah. For my final pick, I figured I'd give someone to have a rivalry with Dominic, someone that has a little bit of history with him. I am going, for my final pick, with El Idolo, Andrade.
That is a good pick. Now, all right, let's do this. They always have a supplemental, so we didn't plan this. You weren't ready for this, so this is shoot. All right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, no, come on. We got to keep the people on their feet. This is a shoot. Okay, you get 2 more choices. All right.
Gosh.
No, off the top of your head. Oh yeah, look at your list.
Oh yeah, I'll look at my list.
You got your list. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go 2 more.
2 more.
Supplemental draft. This is
We're gonna make it quick because I think we're running out of time here.
Yeah, but it's okay. No, it's lightning round. Ready?
Okay, lightning round.
Okay. Alexa Bliss.
I'm gonna go Shayna Baszler.
Okay. Chad Gable.
Kevin Owens.
Boom.
All right.
There you go.
That's our draft picks.
Those are our draft picks. Comment.
Yes.
Tell us what you think.
Tell us
Give
what
us
you
your
want.
list.
Yeah, give us your list. Give us your thoughts and opinions on the draft. We want to hear from you guys, so we're looking forward to the draft. Hope to see some great picks this weekend.
All right.
Can't wait to see the shakeup happen. All right, John, you ready for some reviews?
Let's get her done.
All right, so we're going to try and do this quick as possible because we're running out of time. We try to keep it more than an hour, but a lot of things going on, a lot of things happening, and so we're going to get into it right now. All right,
Sometimes we take longer than we should, but that's okay.
It's all good. All right, so high spots and botches. I'm going to do mine really quickly. I had a couple.
Okay.
I like the new tag team titles that they have presented.
Yes.
But I like the WWE tag title and I like the world title. I think we both agreed that the WWE tag title is the best one. The SmackDown.
The SmackDown title is better. I mean, it brings back to the old classic tag team titles.
Definitely.
So, yes, that's the better one.
And then my second one, I am digging the new ruthlessness of the bloodline with Tamatonga and Solo Sikoa.
100%.
This is so good, and I'm loving every single second of it.
Tamatonga coming in, I marked out almost as big as when I saw The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
I don't know how that's going to work, but I love every second of it. Yeah, so my high spots, I got to get a high spot to Dynasty. It was way better than I expected it to be.
Okay.
The match between Ospreay and Danielson is good. It's the match between Ospreay and everybody else. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's, watch Ospreay Sabre Jr., watch Ospreay versus Okada, watch Ospreay versus Kenny. It's kind of
the same thing.
It's kind of the same match, but it's still entertaining. The better match was actually Swerve Joe.
Yeah,
Swerve Joe was fantastic. But I rip on them all the time. I'll give credit where credit's due. High spot for AEW Dynasty. Hopefully, a pay-per-view that strong, they're going to come out and be able to reinvigorate Wednesday nights. And I'm not even going to say botch to Jack Perry. Good for them to bring somebody in that's got heat. I'm not going to say he's any more over than he ever was, but he's got heat. If they can use that heat to draw ratings, good on them.
Yeah.
My biggest botch actually for the week was the segment where Triple H presented the titles to the Awesome Truth.
Yeah.
That was supposed to work. I don't think it did. And they needed to wrap up and go home quick. And I think Triple H was like, I need to get out of here ASAP.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. So that's your botch for the week. My botch was the Jericho and Hook match just because the whole time the fans were just dogging Chris Jericho for this. And honestly, to have Hook lose the FTW championship to Jericho, I don't know. Maybe there's going to be a continuing storyline with it.
Those going to
return. But the thing is, with Hook's contract with AEW ending soon, he is venturing ideas about going off as a free agent. And honestly, if WWE doesn't pick him up after his contract expires, they are absolutely insane.
I think Hook works anywhere he wants to go. But yeah, I definitely think that there's a place for him in the NXT. And I think that his dad's a good businessman, and Taz definitely knows Taz is pretty straightforward on a bunch of those things. And at the end of the day, it's about business and where you're going to make the most money.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we could see Hook in NXT pretty soon. If we don't, then like I said, I think that there'll be a rematch, of course, obviously with Jericho and Hook. And you can see they're pulling Taz in just a little bit. So I definitely agree with you, botch, based on the way that the fans reacted to it. But we shall see.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, Those are our high spots and botches. That's the episode. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for watching this. Like we said before, go check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can find all of our content there, and all the descriptions that we mentioned before, or the links for the description, will be down below. Also, the upcoming events coming this weekend, Allied Pro Wrestling in Beattyville, Kentucky. I hope I said that right. I'm not sure. Beattyville? Either one. I'm sure I'll get corrected on it at some point. But go check that out. Also, Wrestling Against Cancer in Panama City, Florida. A lot of great things happening. A lot of great shows coming up. Also, want to let you know Kraken Pro Wrestling is going to be coming up as well, May 17th and 18th. It's a 2-day event. You don't want to miss it. But like I always say, guys, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching and listening. And as always, keep it 5 stars.